So this is one of those videos that has to be watched with not only an open mind, but with an open heart as well, right? Because the things that I'm about to say in this video, if they are misunderstood or if they are taken out of context, not only will I receive a lot of pushback for this video, but I'm sure a lot of people will kind of leave this video sort of confused, right? But nevertheless, if you try to watch this video with an open mind and an open heart, then this video will save you years of your life of being disappointed, years of your life of being let down by other people, right? Now, currently, I'm at a point in my life in which I don't do anything for anyone. Everything that I do, absolutely everything that I do, is for myself. And when I say everything that I do is for myself, what I mean is that everything that I do is from my heart and for my heart. And because it is from my heart, I expect nothing in return. Because what my heart desires, the sole purpose of my heart, is to give. So everything that I do in my life is for myself. Let's say if I do something for a family member, or I do something for a friend, or I go on the street and I do something for a random person, I'm not doing it for that person. I'm doing it for me. I'm simply allowing myself to be the vessel through which I allow my heart to express itself. I am allowing my heart's desires to move through me and to act through me. So everything that I do, every good deed that I do, is for myself. And because it is for myself, I don't expect anything in return. See, a big reason why a lot of us are let down, a big reason why a lot of us are disappointed by people, is because we do things for other people. And because we do things for other people, there is always that small portion of you that is going to expect them to reciprocate or do things for you in return, right? Or you are going to sort of expect them to be grateful or to show appreciation for what you do for them, right? And when that doesn't happen, you find yourself being disappointed. But when you do everything for yourself, if you do something for a family member or friend, if you do something for a stranger, you don't even expect appreciation or gratitude or reciprocation, because you are doing it for yourself to begin with. You are doing it for the benefit of your heart, because that is what your heart desires to do, right? That is what your heart desires to do, because the sole purpose of your heart is to give. And you are allowing yourself to be a vessel for your heart's desires, right? When I came to this realization, I stopped being disappointed by people. I stopped expecting things in return. I stopped expecting even gratitude and appreciation, because the doing itself, the action itself, is all the gratitude or appreciation or reward that I desire, right? Everything that I do for someone else on the surface, I'm doing it for myself, because I am doing it from my heart, right? I really hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And once you switch to this mindset of doing everything for you, you no longer can be disappointed, because you expect nothing from anyone, right? You don't even expect a thank you. You don't even expect I'm grateful, right? because you've already benefited from the doing, right? And see, here's also the benefit of doing everything for yourself, right? When you do everything for yourself, you are also under no obligation to do anything for anyone. If someone asks you to do something and it is not in your capacity to do it, meaning you're not able to do it because it's going to take away from you or inconvenience you or so on and so forth, right? You're not obligated to do anything for anyone, right? You are capable, or you are able to say no without feeling guilt or shame, because in the first place, you're not doing anything for anyone, right? And because you're not doing anything for anyone, this sort of feeling of feeling like you have to people please, feeling like you have to sort of bend over backward or so on and so forth, over time you begin to sort of lose that feeling. Over time you begin to sort of, not only do you validate yourself and stand in yourself and within yourself, right? But also you don't allow other people to shame you, right? Quite often people use, or shame against us, right? Let's say someone asks you to do something. They ask you to do something and you're not capable of doing it, or you know that it's gonna inconvenience you. And they begin to label you selfish, self-centered, so on and so forth. And in actuality, if you even think about it, if someone asks you to do something and you say no because you're not capable of doing it, them calling you selfish is actually them being selfish, because you're actively telling them that you're not capable of doing it. But they use that shame to guilt you. But when you do everything for you, in the first place, that is selfishness, right? In the first place, they cannot guilt you by calling you selfish, because you are selfish, right? And see, here's the thing that I disagree with society. And there are certain thoughts that I think which sometimes I have reservations with speaking about them openly, right? But I'm selfish. I am a selfish person. I'm probably one of the most loving and peaceful person that you will ever meet in your life. But I'm very selfish, right? I am absolutely selfish, and I have no shame in saying that. Because if I was to get up today and let's say I see a guy on the street that's homeless, and I offer to buy the guy something or give them money, I'm selfish because I didn't do that for the guy. I did it because it was in my heart for me to do it. I did it because it gives me joy to do it. I did it because I feel this great sense of love to do it, right? So even if I do something for someone that's homeless, if I do something for a family member or a friend, I did it from my heart. So I'm acting in a selfish way because it is for my heart's benefit. And it just so happened that it benefited them as well, right? So I am an absolutely selfish person, and I have no shame in saying that. Absolutely no shame, right? And I feel like we live in a society in which people quite often use this thing of calling people selfish as a way of shaming them, right? Or we label selfishness as such a bad thing. But actually, everyone in this world is selfish. We're all selfish creatures. See, my mentor, Anthony DeMello, in his book Awareness, right? He talks about the 3 different types of selfishness. And in the book specifically, he even talked about the fact that even charity in itself is a form of selfishness that we quite often mask, right? But I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Now, the three types of selfishness he talks about is first, doing something directly for yourself. Right? So let's say you buy something, you buy some cologne for yourself, you go get a massage, you do something nice for yourself. That is you being selfish directly towards yourself, right? The second type of selfishness he talks about is when you do something for someone else, but the reason why you do that thing for someone else is because doing it feels good. Right? Bear with me for a minute. You do something for someone else, but the motivation behind you doing it is because it feels good to do it. So when I said I go on the street and I see a homeless guy and I begin to feel a sort of compassion or empathy and love for this person, I do something for them, that is me still acting selfishly because I am acting from this love. I am acting from my heart, right? So if I do something for them, the motivation behind me doing it is because it feels good to do it. And that in itself is selfishness, but it is a form of indirect selfishness, or a form of selfishness that we mask behind being unselfish, right? I really want you guys to get what I'm saying, right? The third type of selfishness he talks about is one that we quite often do a lot without realizing it. And it is when we do something so that we don't feel bad for not doing it. So if someone asks you to do something and it's not possible for you to do it, or you absolutely hate doing that thing, you do it because you don't want to feel bad, you don't want to feel shame, you don't want to feel guilt for not doing it. And that is the one that people oftentimes capitalize or use shame to get you to act for them, right? And so once you understand that every single action that you take, everything that you do is selfish and for yourself, you don't have that shame or that guilt anymore. People can't call you selfish because in the first place, you know that you're selfish. You know that all of us are selfish, right? We are all selfish. Absolutely every single one of us. This concept of being unselfish is absolute bullshit, because we're all selfish. The type of selfishness though that you want to embody is a selfishness in which you feel good for doing. You feel good for giving, right? You give from your heart and you give from that love. That is the type of selfishness that you want to get towards, right? But at the end of the day, we are all selfish. And once you understand that, you are under no obligation to do for anyone, and you can say no without feeling shame or guilt, right? But there is also an important nuance that you need to understand as well. Let's say someone asks you to do something and you tell them no. You also have to ask yourself, why did you choose not to do that thing for that person? Because quite often the reason why we choose not to do something for anyone is out of anger, is out of resentment, is out of feelings of, maybe some form of jealousy or something, some sort of negative feeling. And once you allow yourself not to do because of that negative feeling, you are also acting against yourself. Because all the heart wants to do is give from a place of love. And if you refuse not to do or not to give from that place of love, if it is in your capacity to do or give it, you are acting against yourself. Because you are, in a sense, holding back your desires of your heart because of some negative feeling or some temporary feeling, right? So when you decide not to do something, you have to ask yourself, am I choosing not to do this because I'm not capable of doing it? Or am I choosing not to do this because of some negative feelings towards a person, right? It is important for you to understand this. Because any act in which you're capable of doing, but you don't do it because of some negative feeling or because of some resentment or anger, you are still acting against yourself. Right? Doing it for yourself is knowing you're capable of doing it. And even when you do feel some sort of anger or resentment towards a person, you know that your heart still wants to be in service. Your heart still wants to give, right? So I really hope I truly was able to explain this as best as possible. And if you truly understand this to the core and you implement this in your life, you won't find yourself being disappointed by people. Because everything that you do, every action that you take, because you take it for your heart and from your heart, because you do it from your heart and for your heart, that in itself is the reward. That in itself is the only appreciation or reciprocation that you need. And so you don't expect anything from anyone. You don't expect a thank you. You don't expect gratitude. You don't expect praise. You don't expect reciprocity. Because you're just allowing yourself to be a vessel for your heart. And in that mindset, when you switch this mindset, there's no disappointment that you can feel. Because you weren't expecting or doing anything for anyone in the first place. And not only that, you're capable of saying no without feeling any sort of shame and guilt, right? So yeah, that's all I have to say. Hopefully this video opens someone's mind, because when I came to this realization, it was truly freeing for me. And I'm sure there's someone that's going to watch this and truly understand what I'm saying, because this video will save you years of your life of being disappointed, right? Thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a little bit of love every day, like I always say. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings.